Somebody hold me the whole day through. Dun, doo, 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 doo. I need somebody hold me the whole day through. Oh man. What's
What's
going
going
on,
on,
guys?
guys?
Get
Get
started
started
here
here
in
in
a
a
second.
second.
Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. Old man, look at my life. 24 and there's so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of two. Love lost, such a cost. Give me things that don't get lost, like a coin that won't get tossed, rolling home to you. Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. I want look in my eyes and you can tell.
Morning, good morning. Morning, good morning. ¿Qué pasó? Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? Forgot how the song is. What's going on? What's going on? Everyone's doing well. Good breakout, man. Really good breakout overnight. Really good breakout. This is what you wanted to see. Over 19.97. Might get another retest here this morning. We'll see what happens. But overall, what you were looking for, what you wanted to see, is exactly what you wanted to see right here. Neil Young hates Tesla. I don't care. I don't care what anyone's political beliefs are. I like music. Care less. If that was the case, no one should ever listen to Kanye West again. But I still blast his music, not gonna lie. Yeah. Getting back above this 1997 level, this is pretty major. Kind of hitting this little wick that you had back here from April 2nd. From when we did the whole reversal of tariff shit. So we'll see what happens here. This is a big spot, though. Big spot. This is kind of all I'm watching here in the day. Got to get back to work with some of these levels up here. But 200 SMA. 600 points off now on NQ. QQQ, I mean, you're about $7 off. So, man, really be looking at QQQ, SPY, and the 200 SMA. Mentioned in yesterday's video. So, what we're looking at there as well. Pretty interesting spot where you're sitting at. NVIDIA, yeehaw. Yeah, 114, cooking up. They're looking for that push into like this little high they had back here, like 115-ish now. Apple, dude, Apple is the concern though, man. I'm telling you right. So today, again, as good as you look today, you got to understand, and you're kind of in like a trickier situation than you would hope for. Because honestly, like in a perfect world, in my opinion, you would like all earnings to kind of perform similar. If they perform similar, it's a lot easier to to predict the action of the market, right? Because they're all moving similar. Obviously, that makes very, very, very easy to understand, right? But the problem here is you have Amazon and Apple today, and again, like I said, I think these are your biggest names affected by China. I think Amazon maybe less so, but yeah. Data in 5 minutes. What data is today? PC was yesterday, so I don't know what's today. I thought I looked. Dude, what's happening? Yeah, job was claimed. We'll see. I think ADP jobs non-farmer bigger, but we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, so this is like the big thing right now for me. I think you got to keep like on the back burner in your mind. Like that's to the end. That's the end of the day though. So I don't want to jump too far ahead and like think too much about it. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. So yeah. Oh man, take a look at my life. Bro, what a banger of a song. What a classic. What a classic. Shout out to Neil Young. Shout out to Neil. We're setting for 160 on Google. Thought you were already there. Yeah, 160 right now. Yeah, I mean, big level for me, I think Jay's like 162, but level I've been watching is like 164. It's been there for a while, so yeah. It's really more of like a zone here too. You can go back and kind of see these wicks 1, 2, 3. You went through it sometimes too, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna disagree and say 160 is not a spot. You can clearly see right there as well. So yeah, I still think Google's at a big level, but I think there's a lot better names than Google out there right now. Personal opinion. Yeah, it's about a farmhand. Hey, it's good music. I think Old Man's better than Heart of Gold. Heart of Gold's pretty good too. I mean, those are just classics. But yeah, the way that Google didn't move. I mean, Google's just not as good of a mover. Like it just hasn't been, especially in this downturn. So if you're buying, I think it's a long term name. Buy, hold, forget. Bada bing, bada boom. But yeah. Cool. 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 Keep on rocking the free world. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, if you keep getting, I mean, and AVGO yesterday was like that's what I was saying. I was like, man, I said in yesterday's video, I was like, if semis are moving like this today, they're gonna get a better move tomorrow. I mean, AVGO moved pretty damn good yesterday. I mentioned off of Discord, and I think yesterday was for me. There was some opportunities yesterday. Yesterday was more of just missed opportunities for me. Um, and if I had to take any notes from yesterday, giving you guys a little bit of insight to what I was looking at, what kind of I missed. AVGO market open. If you were live on WAP with us, you heard me mention it too. The risk reward there was so good. I mean, I could have just set like stops, got in at 184.5, and then set stops like 183. It yeah, even if I didn't love the action that we were getting, it just the risk reward standpoint is so good there on a big name like AVGO, Apple, Nvidia. It's one of those trades you just got to take statistically. So that was the biggest miss. I mean, I probably wouldn't have held it all the way to 193, but like you still had like I mean, great move in the first like 2 hours of trading. So that was a tough one. Apple, I saw Apple early on. I actually didn't want to trade it. Like I didn't think it was worth it. And for what it's worth, I would do it all over again here on Apple. You get like so we have 209.5. Let's go. You can trade the gap fill. I don't really want to trade $1 to the upside, like dollar and 50 cents. Like I can go look at the contracts. I don't think I was gonna make that much money, so it wasn't worth it for me. It ended up pushing up to a 213, but like that would have been my target right there, 211.2, 211.6. That's where we were getting rejected. So like that's what I would have been thinking about. So I don't really consider that one too big of a missed opportunity. I had some scalps on AVGO. We did have the bull flag scalp here where we went long, so that was nice. But Amazon into 183, then 184 had that. But yeah, Tesla was another big opportunity. Tesla was really nice to start the day. You had a lot of downside opportunity yesterday, getting below 274, and then you got back above it. And once you mounted VWAP, that was probably like it's time to long. Again, pretty ill. And Tesla's been a good mover as of recently. I will say, like Tesla today, if the market gets any upside, I think Tesla's along here. You had some news last night. I mentioned it on Twitter, right? So again, Tesla is now denying this, just to let you know. But they were saying the Tesla board opened up a search for a CEO to succeed Elon Musk via the Wall Street Journal. And that's why Tesla was down like $10. Now it's bouncing back. I think Tesla could get more love back into 287 and ultimately back into the 200 SMA if you find any buyers here. I think you're going to find buyers if the market holds up whatsoever. So, yeah, NQ back at that level. So, we'll see the reaction. VWAP and 1997. Big spot. Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. Thoughts on ARM? ARM, my level's like 115. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So getting above that, I think your next level's like 118. Yeah, ish, 118 ish. After that, you have room into like 123, and then 200 SMAs up there. 123, 126 is gonna be tough to get through. I'd be careful around that spot. ES. I mean, ES, I mean, everything pushing into your levels. You know what I mean? Like, every level we had marked out, like, can't even really be upset at this point. You're getting the moves you want to see. Now's the annoying part. I have to go back and mark out some of these spots. I don't want to mark out. What is the spot there? There's nothing. Talk about if we ever get back up there to 5,800. Dear God, how awesome would that be? How awesome would that be? Happy Thursday, Sarah. Happy Thursday. I get why Meta and Microsoft have big moves. Wasn't sure why Nvidia shot up. Again, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm gonna be sarcastic. I'm sorry. Okay, so Nvidia is a part of the Nasdaq. So like, imagine there's a giant train. Let's imagine there's a giant train, and this is your index. This is called the Nasdaq. Okay. Now inside this beautiful, big, beautiful, bountiful, great train. Okay. There's different stocks inside this train called the Nasdaq, and there's another train called the S&P 500. Now, some of the same people are on both trains. Hear me out, okay? Now, on the Nasdaq, this is an exclusive train. It's primarily tech names. So think Microsoft. Microsoft's a person. Nvidia is a person. Okay, Meta's a person. Now, again, let's say those names out. Meta and Microsoft. Those are two big. They're not just small Jimmy Johns. Those are big boys. Those are big tech names, strong tech names. Those are in the Nasdaq train. Okay, now hear me out. Hear me out. Microsoft and Meta, all their investments they're making kind of rely on Nvidia products. 1, 2. They're on that train. That train goes up because they're pushing it further. Well, guess what? Nvidia's on that train. You're welcome. I explained to you, I guess it's a second grader. You're welcome. Big hugs, sending you lots of hugs. But yeah, Nasdaq just holding that level 2, 1997 and VWAP, pretty tough. That's all you're watching. That's all you're watching right now. It's just 19. That level is gonna be clutch. If you keep holding this, you're the messenger. We'll see. ES not as good, but ES has been respecting the hell of its levels too. Look at that breakout you had up there, 56.16 last night. Look at that break and retest. Dude, it's beautiful. Literally gorgeous. Job with him came in a little bit higher. Nothing crazy. Kind of expected it. You see the unemployment numbers. No problem. Marvel. I've really been tracking Marvel. I need to make a semiconductor video. I haven't made one in a few days. It's been about a week actually. Marvel's bouncing back up. Looks fine. Looks fine. It was one of those. It was one of the names I said it was riskier than semis, but has pretty nice upside. I mean, even back into the 200 SMA, you're making like 50% of your money just stock. Which is crazy. Pretty crazy, but yeah. Good morning, Mo. What's up, Mo? So I love trains. Dow also moving really nice. Dow kind of got stuck last night though. I mean, you've basically been at this same spot on Dow for all night long. You did not move at all. So I'd be watching Dow here. I mean, this is a big spot trying to get back over 41K. 41.1 basically. Get back above this, you're chilling. It's your May 13th level, May 10th, so or March 10th. Sorry, what's going on, Eric? So what you're looking at, what you're watching for, but everything's at some pretty big spots as of right now. Palantir, same thing we already said. I think you're late to the boat. Sorry, man. Sorry, not sorry. But again, above 85, 86, you said you're looking for a push to 99, 100. Above 99, 100, you're probably pushing back in all-time highs. I said this for weeks, said it for days. You can go watch my Palantir. I've made some Palantir videos out there. I'll probably make an updated one, but yeah, you're late to the party. Buying it up here is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. So yeah, Palantir's it's already there. Can't do nothing with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you either got it or you didn't. Late to the boat, it's gonna be tough. Club Penguin, dude. Club Penguin was wild back in the day. The people actually, if people remember that, the hidden pizza game, iconic. Thought on Hood Pump 5 minutes before it closed. It had earnings, right? It had earnings last night. So again, yeah, it had earnings after close, so not surprising. Again, I do recommend people, like, if you're trading stocks, like, I mean, I don't get to do like a lot of fundamental analysis. Like, you don't have to. I think it'll help you, but like maybe like understand when your stock has some big days coming up, consolidate the names you're trading, so at least you have an understanding. You're not surprised, but yeah. So nothing really crazy going on. Hood had decent earnings. Probably not going to get your measured move. So yeah. So look fine. You don't look bad. Meta's gonna be one of my top watches of today for sure. For sure. Opening up above the 200 SMA. This is what you want to see. Leave that level there. Yeah. Sorry, I was muted. Um, where the problem with this statement is the problem with thinking of tariffs like regular news is it's not like it's not earnings. It's not like a deal you're making necessarily, right? Um, it's not like a company is acquiring someone else or anything like that. That's like, yeah. So as far as tariffs, the big thing there is the negative of tariffs is, especially in this case, is raising inflation. But you're not going to get that until you get data. And so we keep getting data, and data is not terrible on the PCE, CPI, or PPI side of it. Then why, where's the negative effect? Now, the negative effect is affecting GDP right now. We saw that yesterday. But we saw that bounce back pretty quick after inflation data came in solid. So, again, I'm on the side of stop trying to predict. When you're trying to predict things, typically things don't work out. Do what you want to do. If that's what you want to do, like, hey, be my guest. I'm rooting for you. But there's just no reason. And another thing that I would try to do, like, is again, like, maybe like go back on things that you've tried to predict in the past. And this is not me roasting you, Rocket Glizzy. Although I will say that, yeah, I think you've had some wild call outs before. Just I recommend going back and looking at things that you try to predict in the past, and like seeing if you had any like luck, or see if you had any like were you even close to being right. So yeah. And if you're not close to being right, then maybe you shouldn't be trying to predict things in the market. That's just what I recommend. Yeah, I know, Jay. I saw. I unmuted it before everyone was. I noticed it like really early, but anyways, no. Yeah, people are just like stuck. They don't realize that there's like a scalable, like you can fast forward. But yeah, so I think people get caught up on trying to predict, and I don't know if people want to like seem smart or something, or like I don't know, but yeah, I'm telling you, 9 out of 10 times you're trying to break shit, you're gonna get it wrong. So AVGO look good today. I mean, I'm not going long at open. That's crazy. But if AVGO holds above like 196, I think you look really good. You get below 196, you're just in a range. Um. So yeah, yeah. Um. I'd be watching Tesla. Tesla's name. I'd be watching the 200 SMA. Um. Now the new setting they added to OBS. Actually, I always forget to turn it on. I turn the chat log on. I can just drag it over like TikTok. It's actually awesome. It really is the coolest thing. So I don't have to look over. But can y'all hear Allie? Like, just talk, but Allie be just like, getting mad and just talking to the baby. She's like, "Stop!" I'm like, "That's at least you're not yelling." Sarah said, "Any weekend, Sarah, I'm not gonna discuss any weekend plans or anything about my personal life online with people. People are wild. They're gonna come find my ass. No, thank you." She said, "Any weekend plans? No." What about Apple and Amazon ahead of earnings? I mean, I'd be really careful on those names. I mean, Apple's already weak at. It needs okay. This is another really This is a really like another big thing here too. Okay, so if this is a quick little tip for everyone, if your stock market is going up, it's up almost 2% in the after hours right now, pre market, and you're at like, and I'm just saying, like you're asking about like Apple, and Apple's down almost 1.5%, the equal amount that QQQ is basically up. Probably a terrible name to trade. Like hindsight, thinking about this, right? Hindsight, terrible thing to trade because you're not even following the market, right? Now maybe if you start dropping, Apple's a better play, but even then you're sitting on most of your levels where you've ranged for the entire week, so it doesn't make any sense, right? Netflix looks strong. Yeah, Netflix has been really strong. Surprised you're dipping here on Netflix. If you hold above like 120, 1128, I think it pushes back into all time highs. But yeah, personal opinion. Nobody's trying to pull up and party with Tyler. No, 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 no. Not me. My name is not Tyler. Follow Pelosi. I don't know. You're talking about what Willie thinks. What Willie thinks. Y'all need to go outside. Y'all just be yap, bro. Yeah, y'all just be yapping. This is why we made free Discord, so people could just be yapping in there for real. Motorola. Now Apple. You see, Apple's actually making a foldable phone. It's actually funny. They're saying it's gonna cost like 2.5 grand though. Yeah. I mean, this is gonna be a massive flop. 100%. Yeah. I'm trying to see if they put the price anywhere. Yeah. The crushing blow from the model reports already suggested a price tag over 2 grand. So that's probably gonna be even more with tariffs now, because I mean, if they're pushing their iPhone sales up like drastically, you have to assume this is gonna get pushed up. So I mean, they probably just hold it off. Like that was the whole problem with Vision Pros. I mean, other than like the fucking like clunkiness of them, but I mean, it was a cool product. It was just too expensive. Like Normies couldn't even finance it. Like, yeah, they gotta get. I mean, $2,000 is crazy for a phone. I better be getting a great phone. I'd rather go get the Huawei one. I'd rather fly my ass to China and get the Huawei. No, Eric, I don't trade earnings for the 5 billionth time. I don't trade earnings. I trade the day after. I'll trade the stock the day after earnings. Make more money. The Samsung Z Flip 5. uh, dear God. The Galaxy Fold, though, Galaxy is that what it's called? Galaxy Fold. I mean, pretty terrible name for a phone to be honest, but like, whatever. Yeah, the Galaxy Fold is actually pretty clean. Like, my friend has it. Actually, Sarah Grant has it. It's pretty sick. It works pretty, like, I don't really care for the camera, but I mean, I'm not taking pictures, the hell. It's a pretty cool phone. I'm not even gonna lie. It's pretty sweet. I don't love like what the screen is made out of, like the foldable part screen. Like the front is glass. I'm pretty positive, but the back, like this part, is like it's that like you know what I'm talking about. It's the same as your Samsung Z most likely. Anyways, I don't love that material. It doesn't feel as clean, but it's still really like for what it is, pretty dope. How much will Tesla robots cost? Dude, I don't know. Go Google it, guys. You got me like googling shit now. My fucking Ford doesn't say Google on it. Yeah, Nasdaq just chilling at that level right now. I'm probably about to make the rundown real quick for Discord. I kind of started the live early today. They said, Tyler, what looks good? I'm like, dude, everything's fucking gapping. $7. Netflix. Netflix is interesting though. I mean, it has gone on a pretty nice run, but kind of like it. Where's Reddit at? How does Reddit earnings do? Did okay, 124. Could have done better. Kind of expected more of a move, especially with the help of everything else. Nasdaq's kind of sitting under that level now. Don't love that. Yeah. Yeah, I just think that I mean, I get like phones are gonna get more expensive for like 2K, but like I mean, I just don't think it just limits who can buy it. Like, yeah, especially with Apple's whole problem being they can't get people to buy the new phones. That's like their entire problem right now. So it's a tough. It's not really a solution fix right now. But yeah, dude, this is interesting. I want to see what levels Jay has here real quick. Also, I'm gonna give you guys a quick little tip. Quick tip, Tyler. Okay, if you're in Discord, or if even if you're not in Discord, go to the newsletter. Like the newsletter can help you out too. Okay, if you're practicing like how to find your levels, things like this. First of all, your levels don't need to be exact. Like, let me make that really clear. Like, and if you're new, I recommend just having zones. Like, instead of making like a clean cut level, just do a zone. Smartest thing to do. I'll tell you right now. Okay. Now, Willie, stop asking me questions. Like, I'm muting you. What's wrong with this guy? You're literally talking to yourself, guys. Like, what are you talking about? See, like this is crazy. I don't mind answering some questions. It says, how much are robots costing me? I don't know. Google it. That's unnecessary. But by the way, they're gonna cost 20 or 30K. What is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? What is mentally? What is wrong with you? Dude, he's out here talking to himself, guys. If you want to talk to yourself, go for it. I don't want to talk. Don't talk to yourself in my chat, please. He said, "You got Sarah making fun of you." He said, "How much is it?" By the way, this is the price. I'm like, okay, like the fuck is wrong with you? He's like one of those like those like autistic kids that are like obsessive for certain things. I had a cousin now. Like he used to like what did he love? He loved the States. What's his name? Sarah? Oh my gosh. States and he fucking loved chicken nuggets. This kid loved you're like chicken nugget, Willie. You love chicken nuggets. and robots. Anyways, anyways, go back to NQ. If you're trying to find and spot your levels, this is what I recommend doing. If you're just getting started, and if you're watching any like the stuff on the second channel of like the education, I'll probably people keep asking for it. Caleb, yeah, shout out to Caleb. And so I haven't made a video on the key levels in a while, so I'll probably do one this weekend actually over there for you guys. So be on the lookout. Let me go to the channel so you guys can see. Anyways, so I'll make one over there. So a lot of it, I mean, I've really been like going step by step through everything. So hopefully I can go back and do some other videos so you guys can see. But I'll do that one this weekend so you guys can check it out. But anyways, this is a tip for if you're gonna pay attention and you're gonna try to do key levels for yourself. Instead of using just a flat level, just go to your zone, mark it out, and then just make a zone for it, right? Right. So you'll get better at it over time. Okay. That's what you should do. Anyways, and then on top of that, once you mark it out, you have to bring Sarah. No, Sarah has her own life. Sarah also doesn't know the rules about what could and could not get me canceled. So, the other thing from that is mark your levels out first. Don't like look to someone else for assistance. Mark them out for yourself so you can get like in the habit of doing it, and then go to either the newsletter or if you're in Discord, then every single day you get our updates, obviously. So like you can go back in here, look at Jordan's levels, and again, you don't have to be exact on Jordan's level. That's another big thing that I think people like have a misconception. You don't need to be perfect. You don't have to be like. Yeah, you don't have to because oftentimes you're gonna get a wick through your level. Sometimes you get a perfect wick. Sometimes it's awesome, right? But I'm just saying, 7 out of 10 times you're gonna get a wick through it. So important to understand that. And so even even when I'm marking right now, I'll go back to Jay's. I'm like, see if I missed anything. See, if, and then like if ours are pretty much exact, I'm like, oh well, this is like this is even further confirmation of why and what I was looking at, right? So again, like important here. Like I go in here and I look at Jay's like number one. Where's that shit? Thank you. He had 19.6, which we already all knew that was a major level. And he had 19.985. I think my level's 19.77. Very close. Like, doesn't really matter, right? So, yeah. So, kind of what I'd be looking at and what I would do. But if you don't want to, hey, you don't want to. You want to see a crazy email we got last night? This guy was losing it. This guy literally was losing his mind. So I always tell people too, Discord, I'm really careful I don't like advertising as like, hey, if you join Discord, you're gonna follow exactly what we do and you're gonna make so much money. It's more of like you join Discord, you get like basically notifications about what we're doing, why we're doing it, but we also teach you what we're doing as well. Like pretty hands-on, especially early in the morning, right? So anyways, and I tell people all the time, do not trade 0 DTE contracts. Do not, whatever you do, stop trading 0 DTE, right? I say it literally all the time. Like you're putting yourself in a really bad position. So this guy yesterday, dude, he was losing it. I mean, flat out, like this guy was losing his marbles. Like it was wild. I gotta find the whole log here. This shit was crazy. I was like, it was like 5 o'clock. I was like, Jay, what is this guy yapping about? This guy is losing it. And I promise, and the reason why I'm so like big on saying the same stuff over and over is because I usually know what's gonna happen. Like, so this guy he quit Discord, which is fine. Like, you guys, I honestly, people either quit because they like don't want to follow, or they get to the point where they're good and they can just train their own, which is both. I mean, fine with me. Like, get to the point where you train your own, you're a successor. I'm just like, can you leave a review? But yeah, he said it's not option drop, it's me. This is literally the log. This is like my evening last night. I can't trade this market anymore. It's too difficult with President Trump. I may return in the future, but taking time off, a long time off. I'm like, okay. I've never heard someone blame the president for their bad trading. That's actually, I mean, honestly, it's actually easier to, more volatility, but yeah. And then he said further on from that is, he said, by the way, it wasn't option drops, but you need to do more trade alerts. And I was like, that's interesting. I thought we posted quite a bit. I don't know, whatever. And then he says, real time, by the way, 0 DTEs. I'm like, buddy, I've literally said like, I was like, what are you talking about? I don't trade 0. That's not what we do. We don't trade 0 DTEs. And then this was the kicker. And this is like the real mentality that a lot of people have. Traders want to see real live alerts, which again, we're live every morning, which, by the way, he never joined the live stream once, which 1+1. Kind of crazy. He said, I've seen this guy turn $1,000 into 20K constantly. I'm like, okay, the scam ads are working. Just let you guys, stocks and real estate, they are working. But yeah, so anyways, every day we're live. I'm like, dude, this guy just didn't join. It's pretty crazy. But it just goes to show too, like, if you're trying to get rich quick, like, I promise, like, Discord's not going to save you. It's not going to make you rich quick. I say it all the time. If you actually want to learn, understand what and how we're doing it, it's like it's just crazy because there's a clear difference, and I don't really know. Me and Jordan have had to like, try to figure it out. What was it? That was Big Nick. That was Nicky. That was Nick. Nick's Nik. He spelled his name wrong, but I don't know. But anyway, so like there's a common difference. Like, and I don't really know what it is, like, as far as like talking to people off rip. Because some people seem normal and then they go off the rocker and they're like, they turn out they weren't listening to shit you were saying. So I'm like, okay. But anyways. I don't know. But yeah. So NASDAQ, let me make the rundown real quick for Discord and then we'll keep it going. The problem is, man, I don't like the levels back here were really clear. Like, that has been the awesome part. Is down here, your levels were clear. Like, these were awesome. That shit did not fail me. Okay, this shit was absolutely prime. Like, great level. Anyone that did not like the levels on NASDAQ, you're crazy. These levels were phenomenal. Like, there's no question about them. Right. The next level's not. Next levels are going to be a little bit more difficult. Especially just due to future contracts rolling over. Yikes. Not a fan of that. It's like right here, I'd be zoning this shit out. Right here. You can see a little level here, here, and here. I mean, that's the main spot there, like 20,220. But just with these wicks underneath it, it's gonna be this is gonna be a tough level. You start getting up there, I just start trading a lot less. But I mean, above like 20,002, you don't have much. Like your straight shot. I mean, Jay has like a level like 20,003, but I mean, maybe you're marking out like right here, like previous. I just don't think I don't think it's a big spot at all. I mean, you could also argue potentially like right here, previous low you had back, but again, it's just not. To me, it's not a big spot. You could argue like maybe up here because then you have these like double bottom here. I mean, you can kind of see how that respected, but overall, you just don't have a lot. You just don't. Because again, the drop down was quick. Like, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but like when we started dropping from Liberation Day, that shit was quick. that shit was not slow. it was not slow action. That shit was lightning. Oh man, that shit was quick. It was not. It said blink twice if you're ready to die. I was like, sure. The 50 SMA. Ooh, thank you, Jordan. Ooh, Death Cross. But don't bring up the Death Cross. Y'all start getting mad at you. Bring up the Death Cross. They said Blockhead Tyler, Death Cross Tyler. Oh no. 50 SMA. We're above it on NQ. I mean, you're mounting on it. Yes, potentially. Yeah. I mean, you're above it on NQ. I can't tell if you're. Yeah, Ron G. I think you're Cap in Discord. Cap, Trap, and Ron. I'm just joking, Ron. I don't like that you have different names though. Different names, same. I'm telling you, I have different names in the same profile picture. Let me tell you, very difficult. Imagine trying to to know 1,000 different people. and then they all have two separate names to the same profile picture. They need to like just double it. He said, you know how to double it. But yeah, no, if you're in premium Discord, the news bot is pretty legit. And again, if you don't know, now you know, right? You go to search and you can type in whatever you want. So I want to type in like Tesla, the ticker, right? It'll search everything in Discord, but also search specifically news. And you can type in just Tesla. Maybe that'll like go, yeah, so more Tesla news coming out there so you guys can see. I recommend doing that. Saves you a lot of time. Yeah, so anyways. So yeah. Bad thing is if you start losing bad thing is if you start losing like 19.9, you don't have much support back to the downside too. It's another bad bad looking thing there. You don't really have anything back to the downside, so I think it'll be tough to get like crazy downside today unless you start seeing some. I mean, they're not going to say anything bad about trade deals. I don't think it'd have to be Apple earnings. It'd have to be Apple earnings that drag you down. But yeah, I say that, and then again, you just get slow chopped to the downside all day, and I want to commit suicide. So, yeah. But Ali B, she is not a morning person. She'd be so bad at miles in the morning. Um, 19.9. I really believe 19.87. Also, to make something clear too, like this is a good example today. One sec. Above 15. Okay. It's actually a really good example for today. Okay. So I try. I mean, I'm not always showing the watch list here, so whatever. But like going over NQ specifically on the day, this is a great example. This is a great example. Okay. I don't like the downside today. I have no interest in trading the downside, to be totally, completely honest. However, I still have to mark out that side of the side of the plan, right? And so, again, do I even have it up still? I don't have it up. So, if you watched yesterday's video, the educational video, let me see. I'm not gonna lie, I love Myro. I literally love it. I'm obsessed with it actually. Okay, so I literally use it for everything now. So yesterday, if you watched the educational video, right? So this is basically how I look at my overall viewpoint of prop firms, scaling accounts, growing, etc. Okay, a very simplified version of how I view futures trading. Okay, and to some extent options, right? Okay, so whenever you are at this point here, this is very important. Okay, of your trade plan, identifying opportunities. This is probably your most important part of anything that you're doing throughout the day, okay? But this is your most important part because it makes everything else just so much easier, right? If you do this good, you should have a relatively easy day to where you're constantly just going back and looking at your trade plan or like a sticky note and like, okay, well, that's all I have to look for, right? Everything else is kind of just automatic, right? Oh, this other stuff just happens, right? Very simple thing to comprehend, okay? And so, again, understanding your trade plan. I don't even like the downside. I really don't. But I still have to acknowledge, I'm like, look, I have to look at the chart, understand, okay, we have no liquidity. If we start breaking below like this little small area of like demand that we made, you're probably dropping like pretty easy. You have to assume. Maybe, I mean, I probably should have marked out the 50 SMA as like a target, but like either way, you're going to drop, right? Even though I don't like it. I prefer the upside, getting above 1977 and trading into 20,002. That's the trade you want to take. Like, but I'm still acknowledging both sides of the trade and what we're looking at because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if Trump is going to announce some crazy news, some tariffs. You just don't know. Like, so going into it with the mentality of like a predetermined, this is what I have to do and what I'm going to do is just like you set yourself up for failure, to be totally honest. You really do. Because you're setting yourself up for you can only do one thing and one thing only. And then if you decide to go against that one thing, you have nothing that you were even considering looking at. Because at that point, you're kind of on tilt. You have to understand that too. So if I'm looking at like a trade plan and things just start going AWOL, like my trade plan just goes like out the window, like either way, I have nothing to rely back on, right? So like you have to understand. So like this is why I always say this is the most important. Because if you like everything you do has to be built on like where were you before, right? So if I execute a trade and then I make a profit, well, my profit is all depicted about how much and what I was trading and why I traded something, okay? 100%. And then if I make a specific amount of money, it's all based upon how much I profited based off that trade that I took. So again, it's just all building and building and building on each other, so, which is super important to understand. So again, if you go back to that beginning part, this is why I say it's the most important part. Your trade plan, there's nothing really to build that on. Like if your trade plan is just trash and like you don't actually have a setup, something that you're looking for throughout the day, then you're screwed. Like you gotta go back to the drawing board. So really important to understand that, right? And you probably don't have enough time throughout the day to go do that if you want to make money during that trading session. So something to think about, and that's why I think the trade plan is just so important every morning, and why I'm trying to push out every day at 8 a.m. so people have it. But yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. The downside can recover quickly, just too quick. Great statement, Ron. Wait, I need to make ES in a second, so I need to actually hold on. Okay, so again, yesterday, futures rundown. What do we look for yesterday? For the downside, we're looking for 19.35. Then we're looking for 19.165. Then if we hold below that, and again, for a hold or anything, we at least want to see a 5-minute strong candle close, one closed and one underneath it as well. So one candle holds below, then the other candle rejects. That's a candle close, it's a mount, right? Either way, right? Then 1907, 1996. Then for the upside, we want to reclaim. Notice I said reclaim, not mount. Just reclaim 1935 and see momentum into 19.5. And then you had 19.6. All those levels are still there. So what happens on NASDAQ? Again, you're going into it with a predetermined mentality. You do whatever you want. Like, I'm not talking trash about anyone, but I'm just saying, like, do whatever you want, right? You get to 19.165. This is go to the 5-minute. You can look at the 5-minute here too, so it's not manipulating anything. Okay. You get one. This is the one candle. You do not mount below. You get right back above it, and you remount and reclaim 19.165. Now, I did not even trade that at 19.165. I did not trade this in 19.35. I did not trade it in Discord, nothing like that. I mentioned, I was like, if you want, you can do it. I just don't want to, right? But then you got above, you remounted, and you went long. It was all. I'm just saying, it was all right there. Dev Gotti, I have no idea what you're talking about. But you enjoy Discord? Dev Gotti joins here every day. Say, I'm about to join Discord, boys. But so Dev Gotti, it really has nothing to do with the trend necessarily. But it just goes to show, just based off the levels, if you had a plan and understood what you were looking for, then you really didn't get fooled or get caught. That's more of what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to run anybody. I'm just saying, like, it goes back directly into and this is what we wrote yesterday, like, verbatim, right? So again, that's just why it's so important to go over both sides. And I will say, I think the downside has been better to trade. To be honest, like a very much quicker trades, you hit your target a lot easier. So yeah, Dev, I know you're talking to Ron. I don't need you to speak for me. Thank you though. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. But yeah, so because again, also guys, if someone asks me a question, I'm just saying like unless it's like what time is something, I don't need someone to explain why I thought something or why I was looking at something. Believe it or not. They did not send you. They didn't ask you. They would have asked you, which is cool. Like, and I'm maybe Ron. If Ron wants you to correct me if I'm wrong, Ron. If you'd like Dev Gotti to ask you to answer your question. Yeah, Dev Gotti, you're not reading, man. I gotta put you in timeout. Again, I'm not being rude, guys, but like, again, we're all like, I'm trying to actually like give some education here. Says he's talking about shorting. He's not. The downside can recover quickly, too quickly, like yesterday. He said nothing about going short. He was actually just saying like why he didn't like the downside about yesterday and how like yesterday was potentially like a trap. He was in Discord talking about it too. So, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so food for thought. That was a really good breakdown, actually. Take it or leave it though. Take it or leave it. ES, I don't even have my ES. You can't keep getting away with this. Your next big level though here in ES. I mean, what did I call it yesterday, Jade? Shadow levels. That shit's depressing. You start just look at these little ugly ass wicks here. Oh my god, dude! I got like nothing. 50 to 57.72. I got absolutely nothing. Dear God, dude. You got a little right there. Let's mark these out. Right there at the 50 SMA on ES, and you're holding it. What indicator is your green line to 50 SMA? I pin all my SMAs to the daily, though. The daily or the weekly. Both of those are what I look at. You don't want to look at moving averages on short-term time frames. You're going to get screwed. He said, wow. He said, can you believe it? Zoink, Shaggy. NVIDIA, turns out they increased their revenue from $7 billion to $40 billion. It turns out, believe it or not, they actually make a lot of parts for the biggest companies in the world. This is crazy. I'm telling you guys, I don't get it. I don't get it. Y'all are crazy, man. That's what I'm saying. I honestly like. Oh, Hassat says tariff news expected by the end of the day. Special news. Yeah, this is the only thing I can't handle though is when people hop in here and they ask questions. They just don't listen to shit. Like I'd rather just mute people. I'd rather just not talk to anybody at that point. That's crazy. Do you like long-term calls for Amazon for the summer? Do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do. I mean, Amazon above 188 is tough. As long as you hold 188, I think you're really strong. It's your 2021 high. So you hold that, you look good. That's Amazon's a really easy chart to look at. It's just like I hope earnings does well. You know what I mean? Fingers crossed. What's up to Tung Trung? Appreciate you, Tung Trung. He says, do you think NQ will run up or will it be a bull trap? Tung Trung, great question. I think your level here is at 19,977. If you hold above that, you look really good. If you hold below that, you look really bad. Morning running late. You cover hood in your thoughts. Had earnings. Looks fine. It's not going to get your measured move, but it looks fine. Looks good. Mid caps are getting better. He said, I looked up NVIDIA. Dude, I can't believe. He said, they keep believing they sell to companies like Google? He's like, I thought they still just sold graphics cards. Crazy world. Crazy world. Who would have thought? Kid, super excited for Dutch Bros earnings. I mean, I'd be pretty careful, but I do love Dutch Bros as a company. I think they're a good company. I need to look at their. I don't really know their margins, to be honest, though. They kind of remind me like Chick-fil-A for coffee, except they don't pray for your chicken or pray for your coffee. Lower highs being made though. It was a good touch of your 200 SMA. I will say that, but that's about it. Yeah. Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft, dude. This is the earnings story right here, buddy. This is the earnings. Do I have levels for AMD? Yeah. There's one next to my garbage can. There's one next to. There's a. If you go down the street to Lamarck, there's 3 strippers, a pimp, and a homeless guy. There's an indicator right next. There's a level right next to them. And there's one down at the local halfway house. Those are all 3 levels you got on AMD. They're good levels, so I don't know if I'd buy it when they get next to those levels though. You might lose your money. But anyways, Microsoft. I think this is the earnings. Like this is the biggest win from earnings so far. I'm honestly like kind of surprised that of all the earnings that Microsoft pulls out of their ass is this one. This is the one. I mean, the bad news though that people want to talk about what's happening here. I'm like, dude, the bad news is you're back in your range. You're back in the range from hell. Like this is legitimately like 404 to like 430. Kill me now. You've been stuck here for you were stuck here for a year. You had a few outlying breakouts, but Jesus, like we'll see. I think the pimp and the homeless guy were the worst, more scary factors in those scenarios. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get off. We're going live for Discord. I appreciate you. Be live tomorrow. So yeah, today's Thursday. Dude, this week's felt all types of off. I thought Tuesday was like Wednesday the other day. So have a good one, guys. Appreciate it. See you later.